Minnesota. And this is I-35, Paperways, Minneapolis.
We're working on an AP. What does APQS stand for?
American Professional Quilting Systems.
It's a Longarm machine.
It's a Longarm machine. It's actually built right in the United States in Carroll, Iowa. It's pretty impressive.
That is impressive.
Oh. We're using a lovely Kreinik thread that's got a beautiful silver mixed in with it. I'm going to use the stitch regulator on the machine and let's see what happens.
We're here at Springfield Market in Minneapolis, Minnesota, playing and experimenting. How fast is that going?
That's a wonderful question. The RPMs on a Longarm machine are a little different than a domestic machine. Ours are running about 1,500. With a stitch regulator, it's keeping up with me. If I get rid of the stitch regulator and stitch at that RPM setting and turn that on, it'll slow the speed of the motor a little bit so I can keep up with me.
I'm also going to walk over here.
Yeah, you can get.
So you are regulating the...
Now I am. Much more fun with the regulator though, so that I can stop and start and think about what I'm going to do.
This is the regulator?
Yes. The regulator on our machines is a little unique in that it starts stitching with the same stitch length immediately when you begin, instead of having a couple of long stitches as it thinks about what it's trying to do. That helps with your thread to also make sure that you don't have a long stitch that might distract from it.
Now with a metallic thread, what kind of special steps do you need to make? Do you have a special needle?
Actually, you can use the standard needle that comes with a Longarm since it already has a very large eye. One of the things that a Longarmer would do differently with metallic threads would be to consider the thread path that they're using, obviously adjusting the tension and running it a little bit loosely. Depending on the particular wrap of the thread, I believe this is it called a D wrap? Am I correct? And so you can notice the thread is coming through and we're reversing the twist that comes off the spool so that it actually feeds through correctly, nice and flat, so we don't have any twisting through the thread path as it comes down through the eye of the needle. One of the nice things about the way you thread it is, depending on the thread you're using from Kreinik, you can change that and actually add more tension, less tension to make it user-friendly with all of the threads you're using from the company. I've enjoyed it because we can do small detail work and we can even speed up and do large things and have really good success with the thread. I would also recommend the consideration of the bobbin thread. Certainly with metallics you want to be able to quilt with a lot of different things. Invisible thread is a wonderful product in the bobbin. A very thin bobbin type weight thread is going to work well in a long arm.
That this white pearl looks really pretty. Boy, that's beautiful.
It really does stand out on that batik fabric, doesn't it? The light really reflects nicely.
Some of our colors, it looks like you're stitching with diamonds or rubies or something like that. It just has that real beautiful shimmer to it.
It is amazing, and you get the light reflecting just right. I can see how that's going to look like it's jumping off the fabric.
Now, do you think with the metallic, does it matter what pattern you pick? Like, does it need to be more of an open? Like, to me, this is a real open area, or does it not matter?
Well, with some metallics, I know that the thread is working very well with high-speed embroidery machines, of course, where you're stitching back and forth.
Right.
A difference in how a long arm works versus how someone who's using it in their home for normal embroidery is that the long arm machine moves much more quickly than your embroidery hoop moves back and forth and takes very small stitches. Therefore, with a long arm, I'm going to raise the needle up here for a minute. With a long arm, you must use a very strong, stiff needle to prevent it from bending and breaking, and that needle flex is what's going to give us the ability to make quick changes of direction. Could I stitch right on top of myself? Absolutely. I could lay it in and pretend that I'm embroidering with this machine, as long as I'm being a little bit patient about my front to back and left to right, just because it's moving much more quickly than the embroidery machine would. It's just at those changes of direction, adding that snowflake design, that we wouldn't want it to whiplash, snap and break. We certainly can get more dense with it without a problem. One of the fun things about even owning a long arm is if you can do it with a straight stitch or pretend that you're zigzagging, you can do a lot of creative free motion embroidery. Just have to have
now I see the thread has looped a little bit as it's going into here. into that little tension thing.
Where are you at? Oh, right here.
Yeah.
You're right.
So I guess just keep an eye on that as
and as I'm learning with each new thread that we experiment with, I might change the thread path here if I notice that it's adding a bit of a twist. Instead of wrapping it around, I would come up and down and through to help eliminate that. But just, yes, a little bit of care and attention to the details it's going through. Since the discs are pressure-sensitive disc rather than a rotary, most of the time that's going to pull that stitch out and straighten it out, even if it happens to get caught in there. But certainly if it happened to twist a little too much, that could give me a little cause for considering a rethread there.
Okay. Let me see what it look like here on this end. And there's our spool. And you don't have the netting. I know on our sewing machines we recommend the netting just to keep the thread coming off. But
I've played with the netting and without, and once again just trying to figure out which is going to give me the best situation possible. I think with the netting may certainly help with keeping that thread path a little more consistent and preventing the loop that you have here. Since we're in a show setting today and I didn't think to bring the right bobbin thread along, I think that would have made a difference, and I probably would have used the net at that point. Since my bobbin thread is very, very strong here in an industrial setting, I don't want it to snap the top thread, and that works better.
And I see the stitches per inch.
Yep,
I love that. The turtle and the rabbit, I love it.
Those of us a little challenged, yes. So choose 7 to 15 stitches an inch, or choose the motor speed.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for letting us play on your machine here at Spring Quilt Market.
Enjoy working with